headphones in, and everyone seemed to be able to hear me through our daily qigong routine, which will be up on Patreon later, or added to the list of our daily routines if you're following along for our year of qigong. Anyway, that said, welcome. I'm Teresa Jande from Tree Heart Art Design Authentic, or Love Authentic Me, of YouTube and Facebook pages of the same name. And today is Monday, and this is our Meditation Monday session. As earlier I pulled a card during our daily qigong and morning energy routine, I said that I would tell you before. Later on we will do a bigger weekly energy routine and update, but I thought I would, at the start here, just before we begin and go into our meditation, just do this particular card that I mentioned. So the one that we pulled today was Fire Dog, redefining your boundaries. Now, staying in your boundaries is key to you being in your own space, in your own alignment, in your access, if you like, feeling like you have your light suit on, your light bubble on. I like to, rather than calling it a shield, I refer to it as a filter. It filters out like a swimming pool filter, all the leaves at the top of it filters that out so that can be just taken and cleared and purified, and allows that access for you. So knowing that you're in your fire. The dog also symbolizes friendship and loyalty. So sometimes we feel like we need to be, if we're not being loyal, if we're not holding in our own energy. And this is what this is saying to me, as to add to what the card says, I will read that after, is that we sometimes feel that if we're not holding space for somebody else and allowing that energy in, that we're not actually being loyal. But actually, by holding a higher frequency, you allow that person to kind of meet you at a higher frequency. And it doesn't mean that you don't hold that loyalty still. I think that's important to remember. Yes, all right, hang on, excuse me, we're being invaded by cuddles. Come on then, you want to join us, or you just after sweet treats? Kids have been giving you your treats, haven't they? Yeah. So going back to the boundary thing, so friendship and then our energy. So being in our own skin and holding that as an anchor means that we need to fill that cup up and give of our saucer. I think that's oh gosh, I can't remember the quote, but that's from Lisa someone. It's the first time I heard that. It's in my Transformational Tuesday quote pack. But you're not being disloyal. It's important to know that by holding that frequency. And in fact, it's the opposite, because you are setting a tone, like hitting what they call it, a key, for that's where the frequency of our relationship is going to be. So that said, is there anything else here? It's important also to ground and set those boundaries within the home, within your own sacred space. For one of the things that I was following this week, we were asked to take a picture of our sacred space, and I was thinking, well, where is mine? I tend to do, when I first wake up, that's when I do my meditation. It's by my bed. And I thought, well, the bed is gridded with crystals anyway, so it is a kind of sacred space. It's held that way, even though my husband and I are both in that space. It's still a sacred space. It's where I sleep. It's where I do my dream work. And by the side of my bed, I have that crystals and energy and things that are there to help me do that. Here on my desk, same thing. Because I'm working with healing, I have this massive cellulite wand that's right in front of my computer, so that when I sit down to do a reading, that reading, especially if I'm doing it for the collective, I don't want that collective density of that energy, if we're picking up or reading on that, to come into my own space. So that's to clear and to allow that. I've also got my little black cat crystal here, as the Black Cat Guardian Order representative, and a sort of a figuratively reminding me of that. But the dog symbolises friendship, loyalty. So boundaries within friendships as well are coming up. But the sun shines on our affairs, even if they're relevant to important affairs that are showing up. and knowing that within our home, there's flowers here behind. I've just picked a load of dandelions and put a quote on my my Facebook and my Instagram, like eating the sunlight, like feeling like that light is within you, even with what you do, with the practices you do, with what you eat when you eat the food, but also with the things that you have around you. It may seem a little bit 3D, but it's those processes, those practices that allow you to redefine your boundaries, which is what this card is. It's also number 23. So I'm going to read now what it says in the book as well, in addition to what I've said, before we go into our meditation, because sometimes when we pull a card, it gives reference to what we need to be doing. And I feel that this meditation today will be about setting a boundary for you, creating a sacred space, redefining. The elements of the fire dog pillars share a common theme, which is consistency. Yang fire is generous and never stops giving. Like the sun, never stops shining its light. The dog, a yang earth sign, as a creative, a creature of habit, thrives on routine. Obstacles may stop the dog temporarily, like the picture of the mountain in the background can indicate an obstacle, but its relevance to important affairs is the way I always describe it. Things that are not surmountable, they're just important, or they feel important, and importance about them. But their keen intuition will quickly lead them to a different way around the blockages. This card asks you to be consistent yet adaptable with your boundaries, honouring them yet redefining them as you and your external environment evolve. For example, I can pronounce that right. Apologies if I'm faffing that up. Have used the solar calendar as part of their daily guidance since ancient times, adapting their rhythms and schedules as seasons change to be in harmony with the sun. Whether you've been too generous with your personal boundaries at the expense of your well-being, or you need to expand your boundaries and step out of your comfort zone, the fire dog appears as a message for you to explore the boundaries you've set. Say no to invitations when you need solitude, but open yourself up to new experiences when you feel blocked by life's circumstances. Find a safe space where you can step out effortlessly and retreat as needed. Message from the heavens is just like the light of the sun, the primal symbol of yang fire, guides our daily life. Let your energy levels be your guide in managing your boundaries. Rest behind your depleted so you can spring into action when opportunities arise. And the message from Earth Dog doesn't give up. Try different approaches to a problem and you will eventually find a solution. Right, so that said, for today's meditation, for this next part, I'm going to call in some boundaries. So we'll look at how we can do that. So obviously our sphere, drawing that down, connecting to the earth, is a daily practice that I invite people to do and have been doing for a long time, connecting to that gold and silver light that is the creation energy from central sun, from source, however you choose to think of that. Drawing that light down, connecting it and grounding it into the earth, so anchoring in that high light. And I see it like this, the central column that we speak of in the qigong practices, in the yogic practices, and movement practices and meditation practices alike. So start to find yourself in a nice comfortable position. We won't go too much into some breath. I think if you'd like to do a 9-count breath, if you're able to do a 9-count breath in and out, then do so. If not, just stick to a 4-count box breath. So get into a nice comfortable position. Take a nice deep breath in, closing the eyes if it's safe for you to do so. If you can't listen now, you can listen later, and the recording will be up publicly, so on the Meditation Monday playlist. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And as I said, either 3 count or 9 count, whatever suits you. I'm going to be demonstrating with a 9 count breath. That doesn't mean you have to do that if it feels uncomfortable. Just breathe in easy breath in. Easy breath out through the nose. Taking the awareness, the conscious mind within, allowing yourself to kind of just go within, connect to your heart space in coherence. If it helps, put the hands on the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. And just for the moment, just settle the mind, allow monkey mind, allow the thoughts to be whatever they are, just observing that you are not your thoughts, you are the observer of your thoughts. Feeling into the body, any tensions, any stresses in the body, making mental notes, making awareness, acknowledging the body, acknowledging any emotions that are present that you're aware of, acknowledging that you are not your body or your emotions or thoughts, but the observer, the conscious energy behind, the one that's observing the emotions, observing the thoughts, and observing any iggles and aches in the body. And keep that breath nice and steady flowing. 9 count in, 9 count out, or 3, whatever suits. Open and receptive to the highest aspects of ourself, our being, our presence, our awareness, calling in today. And we've been reminded of redefining our boundaries, thinking about what boundaries are. And I want you to visualize just your body and what I refer to our light suit. So when I put my hand on my heart, it's like I'm activating my heart consciousness, and a heart ray of light just kind of comes in around that field. It connects me to that feeling. I tap into things, I think of things, visualizing things that you love, bringing those emotions if you can. If you're in a state where you're in too much awareness of the emotions, just listening, being in awareness, no judgment, letting go of the judgment, clearing out any of the tension in the body first. Before we even set our boundaries, we need to kind of like think of it as cleansing and doing the facial scrub first before we even do the cleanser and the moisturizer. You want these 3 levels when you're setting in the boundaries around you, but it's energetically, mentally, and emotionally and physically. With our breath, we're bringing our awareness into the mind, calming the sympathetic nervous system, bringing ourselves out of fight or flight, bringing the heart rate down on the physical, on the emotional. That has a knock-on effect within the nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system. So it stops you from feeling that fear, feeling like you want to run, that you need to panic, that you've got anxiety. It's coming out of that. It's taking a step back, and then we can actually make that thought process. So we can't think when we're in that. The brain doesn't make decisions when it's stressed, when it's in heightened awareness in that way. So breathing gently in, breathing gently out. And we're going to use the aid of visualization. And as I said, I want you to envision that heart energy, and you can see this as green or pink coming around you, like a green or pink mist that's all over the body. Now, when I say green, I literally think of green fields and green trees and green grass. So you can perhaps imagine yourself in nature. It naturally, just like walking on the sand on a beach, it brings our body out of fight or flight as well. So visualize yourself somewhere in nature you feel comfortable with. It may just be the image of nature, if it helps. Whatever resonates with you. See that green around you, that pink around you. Maybe it's rose quartz and crystals. Feeling a smell of roses around you, of lavender, relaxing scents. The smell and the frequency of those smells, of those things. And think that you have this kind of shield or suit all around your body, allowing it to just seep into your cells like fresh cut grass. The smell is just soaking up around you. It's allowing you to cleanse, to clear away anything that we don't want in the field with us in our little boundary bubble. We're in this little heart space, and allow it to breathe. It's not suffocating. It's like our clothes. It's there. It's part of our skin, and allows the light to still come through. You can still feel the sunlight penetrating, and visualize that now like a golden light of the sun coming through, breaking through the clouds. The clouds are parting for the sun beaming down, feeling like a warmth of love wrapping around you, connecting, visualizing that light going up to the sun itself, then going further from our star, our sun, right to the central sun, going higher and higher, and connecting to that which you think of as creation, or the highest aspect of frequency, vibration, creator consciousness. And then feel this silvery rainbow essence as well, this liquid plasmic. It's like a watery bubble. The way I describe it, it's like the sheen that you get on bubbles, diamond plasmic light flowing with this gold, a masculine and a feminine quality to them, coming around you, coming and seeping into your cells, filling them up, and then so that nothing else can be there but this beautiful, wonderful thing. And any shadows, any density, it's not that we want to get rid of it all. It's just that, as I was saying this morning in my live on Instagram, it's that we're at that point when we're in this state that the light, then there isn't much shadow because it's at the highest point. The shadow and the density doesn't show up in that way because we've encompassed, we've allowed that shadow in, and we've transmuted it. We've been aware of it. We're allowing those emotions, those tensions to kind of be floating away. We're grounding them in. We're grateful for all the processes, for all of the things in our life that have even gone wrong because they've led us to this point. We're not so whitewashing it. We're not spiritually bypassing it. We're aware of it still. It just is irrelevant. It's so relevant that it's irrelevant. It's become the nutrients of our soul and our growth, allowing it to become just the grounding compost for the roots that is us, that is the anchor that is us. And as you do this, I want you to now see another field around you. This is the boundary. This is the bubble of light that we're weaving with our mind, with our intention, but it's always there. When we feel that star behind our forehead in our awareness, in our consciousness, and we take it down and we ground it down through us like a tree, taking its roots down deep, even in our own shadow and our growth. There is no fear. There's just this anchoring, this grounding. It doesn't feel stuck. It feels like the movement. It's still connected to the earth, to the minerals in the soil, to the little animals and things that are in the soil, making the nutrients, turning over the soil, the worms. It's there. It's the hidden part, but it's still the dense part, but it's still okay. We still feel safe. In fact, it makes us feel strong and grounded, like a storm will come, but our roots will keep us even if we may sway. So weave with your awareness a light around you. And as you do this, as you visualize this, I want you to just keep that breath flowing in and out and that visual as I allow love, frequency, sound of the heart to express, to weave on another level, weaving past the mental barrier of the ego of what does that mean? What's this? Is this woman crazy? All those little signs, to go beyond that and to be open purely just from the heart, but grounded in your own field. Can you do that for me? So feel like fairy light, angel twinkle lights around you as you weave your boundaries, knowing that they are set in place like the separate skin on another layer above the chakra system of 7. We're going up into, if you think in terms of layers and fields, to chakras to 15, but we're going to go up through them slowly, through awareness. Whatever we're ready for will come through, and we feel in each of these fields we're setting little boundaries. We're feeling our own boundaries, and it's not me that's setting, you're setting what's right for you in terms of your own understanding and your own awareness, to be open and receptive to the highest aspect of your true multi-aspected self that is in alignment with love and compassion, that is the purest trajectory of your soul, of my soul, of all of humanity. En turak na yasirak na roshurak na yatayuruk no eti e shurak na yashirak no eshkairak no erak no hirak no rish ore ayshira yalak ni atayrak no elak no shura ayura ayuya Feel all of those fields grounding in the present moment with that higher aspect of you, letting go of ego, of what it means, and just feeling, just being present and being aware that boundaries are being set by you, by your star family, your soul family, the aspect of your soul, yourself, whatever you choose to call it. And feeling the rhythm of the sound, weaving whatever needs to be unwoven and woven within your being, and clearing, purifying as we go, and locking in this connection to your higher self, to your guides, whatever you call them. Maybe it's just higher presence and your divine source and universe. It doesn't matter what you refer to it as, or the words that I use don't have to be yours. And don't worry about what the sounds mean, just feel them in the depths of your DNA. Knowing that you are safe, you are love, the frequency of love wrapping around you like that warmth. Remember that gold, that diamond, rainbow essence. And you might see other colours coming in, more present, more aware, more in line with what you need. And the pinks, the greens, the blues, the reds. And bronze and oranges. And or pure white platinum golds. And feel connected, feel whole, because you are. You don't need to even hear what I'm saying. You just are being present just by it, witnessing, allowing. And if there's any resistance in the body, know it is going to shift. And it comes up to clear, to be healed. And feel rewiring in the brain, like lights show going off in the mind behind the forehead, and tushkashta opening the depths of your perception from the inside out, from the heart connected through, right through to your root, to the pituitary gland, and through these three spots, lower, middle, upper dentian, I refer to them as, and but even beyond, they are the roots of these other levels to the 15th, to that is the spark of sound and creation. And feel the wholeness going up through those levels and those boundaries and different, not fences, but different kind of, like going through checkpoints when you're ready, when your soul's ready. It's like, yay, I've made it to this far. And I can now open up to the next step. Feel the joys, feel the profound healing, and allow it to just seep through. And now pulling it all in, because although I've said it goes up to the sun, we are one with everything. We are part of everything. We are here, we are there. We are like, there is no space. We're beyond space when we refer to these things. So feeling yourself then come back into the heart, contracting in, grounding yourself back down if you need to, placing your hands on your heart to begin with, feeling that sense, a deep breath in, and then coming down, hands to the knees, and gently tapping the body, like we're telling the cells it's okay. We acknowledge what they're going through, patting the arms, but this also it brings us back. You can open your eyes if you wish, or you can keep them closed for the moment. Just tapping on the body by resonance, by awareness, saying, look, I'm here, we're grounding back down. just noticed my singing bowls over there, so we do it a different way. So just feeling the feet up and down, start to tap and ground in. Feel those, as we started with, those images of the greens and the pinks and those colours, the heart, and more Gaia energy, earthly energies grounding down, feeling like crystalline structures. And I want you to imagine you're walking on crystalline, a beautiful like selenite floor, and other crystals are around. It might not be selenite, you might see, I don't know, amethysts, or you might see aventurine, whatever you're in need of. Whatever you're in need of, just feeling it, grounding it back down, feeling the soothness on the feet, the coolness on the feet, but actually anchoring in. You'd think, oh, roots can't go through that, but feel like the crystals and your feet are actually growing crystals down, going down, and feeling more grounded in this now moment. And then breathing. Yeah, breathing. Breathing in, breathing in, breathing out, coming back into the now moment. Okay, because my son's like, Mummy wants to tell me. So just bringing yourself back, allowing yourself, if you need to drink, taking a glass of water, allow yourself to come back a little bit more. I know him calling me might have jolted some of you out of that. So just spend a little bit of time coming back and being more present, allowing yourself as long as you need. Taking a deep breath in, and just take the fingers up and just tap, bringing that awareness back. Any information that we needed coming back. And knowing that we have these boundaries, layers that we've pulled in, that are there when we need them. So when we connect with intention, we perfectly connect that, allowing our state to go to where it needs to go. We don't need to fear that we're connecting to something that we shouldn't. We've placed that intention there. We feel safe in our own skin. In fact, our skin might feel luminescence, like it's like the flowers, feeling the sun and then the moon when they close, when we're sleeping, knowing that we're still, even if we're sleeping, even if the flowers are closed, that we feel safe. Even if we feel like we need to contract, we need to rest, we need to redefine what the boundary is for today, that my space, as I spoke of in the beginning, that the friendships, okay, today I need to fill my cup up so that I can then give from the saucer. So there's an endless supply, so you can give all the time if you remind yourself you're connected. So this just tapping and feeling you're tapped in, tuned in, feeling that suit of energy, those boundaries around you. Love and blessings. Thank you for your time. Please give me a thumbs up if this helped. Let me know in the comments if you feel like you needed the boundaries, if you struggle with boundaries. And love and blessings. Have a fabulous week, day, month, year. And I will do this week's Energy Live later. We've got climbing with my son, so it will be after that. So thank you for your time. Have a beautiful day, and yeah, let me know if this helps, how it feels, whether you feel you haven't had boundaries, whether you've felt like your energy has been tested lately, and whether this helps you to combat that. Not that it's a thing to combat. I don't like the word combat. Just it feels wrong. How about just help to soothe like a balm with what's needed. Blessings. Thank you for your time.